Nah, alhamdulillah, it's my pleasure, Sheikh, man. My pleasure.
So
Alhamdulillah.
I told the brothers and many of the people that's on there that a little bit about you in reference to graduate from the University of Medina, studying Hadith, and that you came down a couple of times and gave a couple of khutbahs. Alhamdulillah, very beneficial. Many books, lectures, and all of that. So basically, I'm gonna let you have the floor.
Okay, alhamdulillah. No, I'm very grateful and appreciative of any of the masajid that I have, personal relationships with. It's not many, but the ones that I do have, personal relationships with, I look at those masajid and those communities as, my extended family. And, anything that I could do to, ease the burden or, lend, my platform or lend, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with, to assist, I'm there. I'm there. You don't have to ask me twice. So alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for the opportunity, Imam Abdul Shaheed. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places barakah in, in the masjid, in your community. But before, I kind of I was going to give just a brief talk before we started the fundraising process. And for those of you who are joining us outside of Zoom, the email or the PayPal to donate to Masjid Al-Athar in Marietta, Georgia is Athar at gmail.com, right?
Right, that's it.
ATHAR, Athar at gmail.com. For those of you who are joining us now, this is a fundraiser for Masjid Al-Athar in Marietta, Georgia. Inshallah. Yeah, I'll pin it. Let me see. How do we do this? How do you pin it again? I'm totally lost with this.
Independent.
Athar at gmail.com. Let me see. Pin. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. Crack the code. Okay, so for those of you who are just now joining us, we are doing a fundraiser for one of the many masajid that has been open. You have been open since the start of the pandemic, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You guys have never closed.
No.
Alhamdulillah, I respect that.
But we had a few come and make salat, pray and stuff like that. So, I mean, well, we went by the guidelines though.
You followed the guidelines.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand with a lot of the masajid, why they don't just follow the guidelines and open the masjid. You know what I mean? Like they remain closed, despite the fact that, many municipalities or many counties or many cities have not necessarily banned religious institutions from being opened. Has placed some kind of restrictions on them, maybe a certain level of capacity, as well as, one masjid here in Delaware was actually testing people before they came in the masjid, just kind of testing their temperature, encouraging them to wear masks, and then, of course, remaining 6 feet apart. And I mean, as long as we can maintain those boundaries, I don't understand why the masajid won't open. I think that it's better to have it open under those restrictions than to just remain closed altogether. I mean, that's just my thought. But who am I? You know what I mean? That's just my thought. But many of the masajid still remain closed and will continue to remain closed until, Allah knows best when, and I'm just like, until when do the masajid just remain closed? At any rate, I was just going to do so we're here for a fundraiser. So we're encouraging the believers to donate, to give. This is one of many masajid that are, have been impacted by, this quarantine and the masajid being shut down and the believers being restricted in terms of their movements to and from, religious institutions. So we want to try to help offset some of the costs that it takes to, run a masjid and to maintain the masjid. All right. Someone is asking, can they use a card to donate?
Can they use a card?
Yeah. I'm not sure how that would happen to use a card. Maybe they can just send you an email to the email.
If they send their information, then we could, we can probably take it from there.
All right. Do you have a Cash App?
We don't have the Cash App, but we have the Zelle and the PayPal.
Okay, so they only have Zelle and PayPal. They only have Zelle and PayPal, so you can use that. The Masjid is Athar at gmail.com. All right. So I just pinned it for you guys so you can actually see. All right. So as we get into the discussion, there was a hadith that I wanted to mention to everybody just to kind of give us an opportunity to, just to kind of reflect for a little bit. I'm forgive me. It's kind of late for me. Just gave a lecture right before Maghrib, man. So I'm like mentally exhausted, but I tried to pull something that I thought would be a great reminder for all of us. And that is a hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, which this hadith that many of us are familiar with, but the reminder nonetheless benefits the believer. This hadith was on the authority of Abu Hurairah, where the Prophet ﷺ said there were 3 men from Bani Israel. Yeah, you can write on the screen. Yep.
Okay.
If you click down at the bottom, it should say share screen. Double tap the share screen, and then they should give you some options. You can click whiteboard and click the whiteboard, and then it'll bring a board up and you can type right on the board. You see it? Imam?
Yeah.
You just click on whiteboard and the whiteboard will come up and you can kind of type on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it.
So, Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he narrates this hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said that there were 3 men from Bani Israel who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to test them. One of them was a leper. He suffered from leprosy, which means that he has a type of skin disease. Leprosy is a type of skin disease. The other one was a bald man, could not grow hair, and the other one was blind. All right, so 3 people suffering from 3 different types of diseases. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Aradallahu an yabtaliyahum. I want you to think about this for a moment. The Prophet ﷺ said there were 3 men from Bani Israel who were, one was a leper, one was blind, and the other one was bald. And Allah wanted to test them. Now, I want you to think about that for a second, because it seemed like they're already being tested. So what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testing them with? I mean, one has leprosy, the other one is blind, and the other one is bald. And then the Prophet ﷺ says that Allah wanted to test them. And it's just like, well, what more could Allah test them with? It seems like they're already being tested. But their test, as we will see at the end of this hadith, their test is not in adversity. Their test is in prosperity. You understand? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can test you with prosperity. Test doesn't always have to be in adversity and calamity. Your test is not gonna always be in the form of a calamity or some type of misfortune or affliction that befalls you. Because as you can see, they were already suffering from some type of affliction. One was bald, one was blind, and the other one had leprosy. So they were already experiencing, some type of calamity in their own lives. And then the hadith says that the Prophet ﷺ says that Allah wanted to test them. So then you say to yourself, okay, well, what more could Allah test them with? It seems like they're already being tested. So that means that in this hadith, the test is not, as we're going to see, the test is not in calamity or adversity. The test is actually the opposite. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَنَبْلُوهُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. And that we will test them with sharri wal khayri. We will test them with good and with evil, meaning and misfortune. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in this ayat that He will test us with khayri wa sharri. He will test us with prosperity and He will test us with calamity and misfortune. All right. So in their case, it was being tested with prosperity. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends to them an angel. فَأَرْسَلَ إِلَيْهِمْ مَلَكًا. Allah sent to them an angel. And the angel who came to the leper first, and he asked the leper, what would he like? What do you want? If, God is asking you, you choose, what do you want? And he says, I just want good skin, right? I want to have, lawnun hasan. I want to have a good complexion. I want to have good skin. All right. And to be rid of the thing that makes me loathsome to people. People hate to look at me. People hate to see me, hate to look at me, and I just want to be able to be accepted by the people. And so the angel rubbed him, masaha alayhi. The word that was used in Arabic is called al-mash. Mess, which means to pass your hand over or to rub. All right. And he became healed. And that is why Prophet Isa is called in Arabic Masih. Masihu Isa ibn Maryam. Al-Masih means, we translate it in English as the Messiah. But the word Masih comes from Masih, means to rub or to pass your hand over. And that is because Prophet Isa was given the miracle of healing by passing his hand over something. So that's why he's called Masihu Isa ibn Maryam, the Messiah, the Messiah, because to rub your hand over something and then cure it. So the angel cured the man of his leprosy, rubbed his hand across him, and he cured him immediately. And then he asked him what type of property would he like. And so the leper replied that he would like some camels. And he was given a pregnant she-camel. Then the angel invoked Allah's blessings on it. The angel asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in his blessing. And I want us to pay attention to this, as many of us, we're here for a fundraiser, and many of us have wealth. Alhamdulillah, somebody sent me an email today and said that, they wanted to make a donation because due to the pandemic or due to the quarantine and not being able to go out, they haven't spent much money. And I can say that for myself as well. Like, Like I drink coffee every day, And so since we're fasting, I can't get my Starbucks because, it's not open at the time we start iftar. And by the time we break our fast, the Starbucks in my area is closed. So I'm literally saving about $8 a day that I used to spend on coffee. And I haven't had it, in over a month now, so I literally have saved. If you multiply, 8 times 10, that's 80. I'm spending roughly $80 a week on coffee alone. You understand? $80 a week on coffee alone. And it's been about 5 weeks, 80 times 5, $400, man. You know what I mean? $400 that I have saved over a month and a half, just on coffee alone. And I'm sure that many of us have, daily expenses that we have, we are no longer, at liberty to take advantage of because of the shutdown. So we have saved a lot of money. We have saved a lot of money, and alhamdulillah, I want us, as we listen to this hadith, I want you to think about the blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. He said, what type of wealth would you like? He said, I wanted camels. He said, so the angel blessed him with Allah gave him a pregnant she camel. And then the angel went on to invoke the blessing of Allah on that she camel. Then the angel left. Then the angel went to the bald man. Guy can't grow any hair. And the angel asked him, what would he like? And he said, I want good hair. Sha'run Hasan. I want to have good hair. All right. And in today's time, obviously, many people want good hair, including men that are now wearing wigs. When men are now adding hair to their hair, they want dreadlocks. They want their dreadlocks to look long, so they're adding more hair, fake hair to their dreadlocks. You got men wearing weaves now. Men that are wearing weaves, right? And you have women, obviously. Weave is probably one of the biggest industries in America at this point. Next to the pharmaceutical companies, you're talking about hair. The hair game is lot of money. A lot of women, a lot of dissatisfied women with the hair that God gave them. So, Asians come into our communities. They open up these, shops, and they're selling weave, and they're selling this stuff, $100, for tracks, $100, they're making billion-dollar business over dissatisfied people or people who believe that beauty is defined by how long your hair is or how fine or delicate your hair is or how curly your hair is. So, in this day and time, that this hadith is definitely very relevant. So the angel asked the bald guy, what would you like? And you have even Muslim women that are wearing, weave in their hair. And for the record, for Muslim women, wearing weave is haram. It's haram. Adding anything to your hair that is not naturally a part of it is haram. I don't care if it's yarn. I don't care if it's hair. I don't care what it is. To add anything to your hair to make it look like it's longer than what it really is haram. All right? And so he asked the bald guy, what would you like? And of course, the bald guy said, I want Sha'run Hasan. I just want nice hair. All right? He said, and I want to be given the type of hair that would make me not look so loathsome to people, and I could get rid of this, this taint that people don't want to be around me, don't want to look at me because of this. So the angel ran his hand over the guy's head, and boom, lo and behold, his hair appears. He has hair now. All right. And then he asked him, what type of property would you like? What type of wealth would you like? And the man said, I want cattle. So he was given a pregnant cow. And then the angel invoked the blessing of Allah on that cow. Then the angel went on to the blind man. All right. Now, this is, I wear contacts. I have friends that, have lost their eyesight. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah restore to them their eyesight. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala restore to them their eyesight. The guy went to, the angel went to the blind man and asked him what would he like. The blind man said, I wish that Allah would restore my sight to me. Pay attention to the blind man's comment. What do you notice that's different about what the blind man said than what everybody else said? The leper said, I just want good skin. The bald man said, I want good hair. The blind man said something a little different than what everybody else say. Pay attention to the narration. He said, I wish that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would restore to me my eyesight so that I may see people. Thereupon the angel ran his hand over his eyes, over his face, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like that, restored his eyesight. And that shows you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power and the ability to return to us anything that we've lost. Right? The blind man sort of made a dua, and you could hear the humility. You can hear the humility in his voice. Unlike the other two, they never said, I wish that Allah would do this for me or wish Allah would do that for me. But the blind guy, he put it back in the hands of Allah. He said, I wish that Allah would do this for me. I wish that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would restore to me my eyesight. So the angel runs his hand across his face, and just like that, his eyesight was returned to him. Then the angel asked him, what type of property would you like? And the man said that he would like some sheep, right? So he was given a pregnant sheep. All right, and notice even what he asked for. The first one asked for camel, which was very expensive during that time. And then the other one asked for cow, which was very expensive. Sheep were very cheap. Even now, you compare right now, if you go to, for example, a slaughterhouse and you want a cow, you're going to pay thousands of dollars for a cow. If you go and you want to slaughter a camel, you're going to pay thousands of dollars for a camel. You go for a sheep, you might get a sheep for $200. Sheep's they're cheap. But the blind man, he asked for sheep. You understand? Humility. You can hear the humility. And so he was given a pregnant sheep. Flocks and herds were produced for the three men. So the three men were given what they were given, and they begin to produce, right? The first having a valley full of camels, the second one having a valley full of cows, and the third one having a valley full of sheep. Then the angel came back to the leper. Here's where the test comes. The test was in that they desired something, Allah gave it to them. But when Allah blesses you with something, no matter what that blessing is, there are certain requisites that we have to make sure that we fulfill in order to maintain those blessings. The masjid is a blessing. The wealth that we have is a blessing. For us to be here now is a blessing. All of these things are blessings. And in order for us to maintain these blessings and to nurture these blessings so that they continue to produce for us, there are certain requisites that we have to fulfill, like being grateful. If Allah blesses you with something, one of the ways in order to keep the thing that Allah blessed you with is to show gratitude. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you show me gratitude, I will give you more. If you show me gratitude, I will give you more. You understand? And so while they produced, their animals produced valleys full of camel, valley full of sheep, valley full of cow, the angel comes back to them, first starting with the leper. Coming back to the leper in the form of a man who has leprosy. So when you think about that, the angel is basically coming back to the man in the previous image that the man had. Basically a mirror, holding up a mirror to yourself. If the angel comes to you in your previous image and asks you for something, the angel is basically holding up a mirror to you. And that's what it is. Showing you who you really are. Because no matter how much your circumstance and your situations have changed, if your heart has not changed, you are the same individual. You understand? You are the same individual. If your heart has not changed, you are the same individual. I don't care if you got more money. I don't care if you're skinny. You were thick and then you got skinnier. I don't care if you were poor and you got rich. I don't care if you had no business, now you got multiple businesses. If you have not changed this, you have not changed your heart, you're still the same individual. You're still the same individual. And the angel came back in the form of the person who had leprosy. So here's the guy who had leprosy. Now he got good skin. He has a valley full of camels. He's living his best life. And then the angel comes back to him in the form of a person who has leprosy. You basically staring at yourself in the mirror because this is who you used to be. And the angel says to him, I'm a poor man and my resources have been exhausted during my journey, and my only means of reaching my destination are dependent upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and dependent upon you. And notice the aqidah of the angel. Notice the angel did not, just because the angel was in human form, the angel did not lose sight of its aqidah. He said that my only means of reaching my destination is Allah first, and then you. Right? Because even though the angel was in human form, the angel knows, the angel, is programmed to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes first. So the angel wouldn't have been able to say that in any other way other than the way that he said it. He said that I'm a poor man. I've exhausted all my resources along my journey. The only way that I can get to my destination is through Allah and then you. So I ask you by the one who gave you good color. And the guy should have figured it out when the angel said that. When the angel said that to him, he should have figured it out right then and there that something was up. He said, I ask you by the one who gave you. I ask you by him who gave you the good color and the good skin and the good complexion for a camel. To give me some property, give me a camel so that I may get to my destination. And what does the guy say? The guy says, I have many dues to pay. I got many bills, just similar to what we say when we're doing a fundraiser. We're doing a fundraiser. We say, donate, give for the sake of Allah. In our mind, we say, man, I got the bills to pay. I got things I need to take care of. The Eid is coming up. I need to buy this and I need to buy that. That's all from shaitan. That's all from shaitan trying to instill fear in you. Trying to make you afraid of doing what is best for your soul. That is shaitan. So the angel says to him, I need a camel to get to my destination. Can you help me out? And the guy says, I got a whole bunch of bills. I got some responsibilities. I can't, I have many dues to pay. And so the angel says to him, I think I recognize you. كأني أعرفك. It's as if I know you from somewhere. And the guy says, you don't know me. The angel says, were you not a leper yourself who people found loathsome, right? Who people would stay away from? Were you not a poor man and then Allah gave you wealth? He's reminding him of his previous situation. This happens to us often that, we move from one place to another and then there's something that follows us that reminds us, that is a constant reminder of where we came from. Because to be reminded where you came from is to humble you, to keep you humble, to keep you grounded. And sometimes we don't want people around us. We don't want things around us that remind us of where we came from because we believe that because we have, elevated and evolved, that's no longer a part of our journey. That's no longer part of who we are. And it's all a part of who you are. You can't erase that. You can't remove yourself from that completely. As Malcolm said, I'm not ashamed for once having been in prison. I'm not ashamed of that. Yeah, some people who go to jail, go to prison, and they come home and holier than thou, and they try to forget where they came from. And it's just like, no, that's part of why you are the way that you are right now. You can't enjoy the accolades and forget about the journey that you took to get there, right? It's all a part of who you are. So the angel says to the man, كَأَنِّي أَعْرِفُكَ. It's almost as if I know you. The guy said, nah, you don't know me. You don't know me. He said, no, I know you. He said, weren't you a leper yourself? You used to look just like me. This is him talking to himself in the mirror. If you think about it, the angel is in the same image of who he used to be. And the angel is now reminding him of where he came from. This is your alter ego having a conversation with you, trying to remind you to stay humble. And we all have those moments when when our alter ego is talking to us, trying to humble us and put us back in a place where we're supposed to be, that place of humility. And he said, didn't you used to be a leper yourself? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you. And so the man, what does he do? He totally ignores and denies. He said, no, I inherited this property. God didn't give me anything. I inherited this property. I worked for this. I earned this, right? It's my money. As we like to take responsibility for things that we didn't do, right? That's the human being. That's the human being. We like to take responsibility for things that we don't do. So it's my money. I worked for this. Meanwhile, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave you the faculties. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who provided you with the opportunities. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who, you understand, who provided you with everything. As a matter of fact, Allah takes ownership of our wealth. Allah says in the Quran, وَآتُوهُم مِّن مَالِ اللَّهِ الَّذِي آتَاكُمْ. And give the poor from the money, the wealth of Allah that Allah has given to you. Allah called it His wealth. Allah called it His money. So the money that we have right now in our pockets, the money we have in our bank accounts, the money that we have right now, it belongs to Allah. It is not our money. Allah says, and give them from the wealth of Allah that Allah has given to you. It's His money. It's His money. So He said, I inherited this. God didn't give me this. I inherited this. And the angel said, if you are lying, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return you back to your former situation. How many of us have been returned back to our former situations? He said, if you are lying, how many of us have been on a high horse? You know what I mean? Like you riding high, living your best life, totally forgetting about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and out of nowhere, Allah changes your condition and sends you right back to where you were from the beginning and make you start all over again. Make you start all over again. Absolutely. So the angel promises him, he said, if you're lying, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return you back to where you are. So then the angel went to the bald man, and he said to the bald man the same thing that he said to the leper. And he says, I'm poor. I can't get to my destination. I need your help. Meanwhile, the bald man got hair now. He got a valley full of, cows, and he's living his best life. So this guy comes upon him who's bald, comes back to him in his same image, and says to him the same thing that, I need to get to my destination. Can I borrow one of your cows? Can you loan me something? And the guy says to the same thing. He says, I don't have it. I got bills to pay. I got things to do. All right. And the angel says to him, it's as if I know you. Didn't you used to be bald? And didn't you used to be poor? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you with hair. And Allah gave you, a valley full of cows. Right? And the guy says, nah, I'm not that guy. You got me mixed up with somebody else. Perhaps you were referring to somebody else. No, I've always been like this. Because you know how we do. We act like, I've always had this. I've always been this way. And the angel says to him, if you are lying, then Allah will return you back to who you used to be. Then he goes to the blind guy. And he says to the blind man, I'm poor. I'm a traveler. My resources have been exhausted along my journey, and my only means of reaching my destination are dependent upon Allah and then you. So I ask you by Him who restored your eyesight for a sheep that I may get to the end of my journey. And listen to what the blind guy says. The blind guy says to him, yes, na'am, qad kuntu a'ma. Yes, I used to be blind. He owned it. He owned it. Like, he didn't deny that I used to be blind. He didn't act like he was brand new. He didn't act like, this was always his situation. He said, no, I used to be blind. This is a man who, respects where he came from. He respects where he is enough not to deny where he came from. You understand? He respects where he is currently, not to deny where he came from. He said, na'am. He said, kuntu a'ma. I used to be a blind man. He said, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَرَدَّ اللَّهُ إِلَيَّ بَصَرِي. And Allah returned to me my eyesight. He owned all of it. He said, yes, I used to be blind, and Allah returned to me my eyesight. He said, فَخُذْ مَا شِئْتَ وَدَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. He says, so take from my wealth whatever you need, and leave from my wealth whatever you need. He said, because I will not deny you anything. I swear by Allah that I shall not argue with you today or to return anything that you take, as I give it for the sake of Allah. I want you guys to think about that. I will not debate you about anything today. You understand? This is the servant who's humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about all of the additional wealth that we have accumulated since we have been home, right? Not going out. We're not spending as much money on gas. We're not spending as much money eating out. We're not spending as much money, on frivolous things that we used to go out and eat. We're not asking, you guys to donate, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. We're asking you to just trim off the top the money that that you were able to save because you are not going out $100, $200, $300. You know what I mean? He said, take whatever you want. This is not mine. Allah gave this to me. Take whatever you want, leave whatever you want out. You will not find me to debate you about anything. As you take it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the angel says to the blind guy, keep your property. You have simply been put to a test. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you, and Allah is not pleased with the other two. And the other two were returned back to their former states, while the blind guy was able to keep his current state. SubhanAllah. So many lessons. So many lessons. The email address is pinned right here. Athar, ATHAR @gmail.com. They're saying there's something wrong with the email that's not going through, Sheikh. That's the email? Athar @gmail?
Yeah, it's Masjid al-Athar.
Oh, Masjid al-Athar.
Right.
All right, let me do that again. I think I spelled it wrong. Masjid al-Athar @gmail.com. Okay, I spelled it wrong. It's Masjid al-Athar. Masjid al-Athar. Okay, so we got it. Masjid al-Athar. All right, so we pinned it again, inshallah. Please, brothers and sisters, go ahead and donate at this point, inshallah ta'ala. We would like for everyone that is present, you're sitting at home. This is a great opportunity for you guys to, open up your phone, send a donation, inshallah ta'ala. I would love to, you don't have to expose what you donated, but I would love for, at least 10 people to donate $100 right now. If we could get 20 people to donate $100 right now, that would be $2,000 really quickly. And that's not all we're looking for. We're actually trying to raise $30,000 tonight. Yes, he has Zelle. He has Zelle, Hassan. If you could just send an email to that Gmail, and then he's right here. He'll work that out with you, inshallah. All right, can we get 20 people for $100? Or can we get 2 people for $1,000 apiece? Can we get 2 people for $1,000 apiece, or 20 people for $100 a head? I'll start, Abdul Shahid. I'll donate $250. All right, I'll send that to your PayPal now, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
So I started with $250. If somebody can match my $250, and then that'll be $500, and we'll can continue going until we can get as much as we have, as much as we need, inshallah. Imam Abdul Shahid, Hassan said text him.
Okay, inshallah.
He's going to text you, Hassan. We're raising money for Masjid Athar. Hassan said he got $100 for you. So with my 250 and that 100, that's 350.
Okay.
All right, we need some more hundreds. We need 20 people for $100. No, they don't have Cash App. Only PayPal and Zelle. All right, we got another Sister Dominga. Shout out to Sister Dominga, mashallah, for $100. That's $450. Another sister, Juanita Jordan, another $100. That's $550. Tissa, another $100, $650. Nelson Holloway, $250. I can't keep up. I see all these hundreds popping up. Sister Leela, mashallah, $250. Teef Sharif, another $100. Leslie, Sister Aisha, $250. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I don't know the Zelle information. If you could just send an email to Masjid al-Athar at Gmail, the email that I pinned. If you could just send him an email, inshallah, then he'll send you the info for Zelle. MashaAllah, the Reed family, $50. Sister Zakiya, $100. Allahu Akbar. Sister Tracy, $100. Brothers, come on. We see all these sisters donating. We need the brothers to step up to the plate. Come on, brothers. Step up to the plate. Where are my heavy hitters? Another 300 from another sister. Come on, brothers. We need some of those heavy hitters. Right now, our largest donation has been $300 from a sister. I thought I topped it with my little chump change, my little 250. Another 100 from a brother, mashallah. As long as you guys have the Gmail info, Sister Stephanie, Jazakallah khair. So far, 425 in the PayPal. We need more to just keep coming in, please, inshallah. Please keep donating, man. Please keep donating. These masajid, they need assistance. They're not connected with any big Islamic organizations, and they survive off of the generous donations of the community. This is our responsibility. The Shabazz family, $100. Allahu Akbar. There's no Cash App. Unfortunately, no Cash App. Only Zelle and PayPal. Muwallif family, $100. Allahu Akbar. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala place it in your scales of good. While everybody is sleeping and everybody is eating and doing whatever they're doing, right now we here raising money. We're getting hasanat. We're getting good deeds even on an even night. We're sitting here on the even night getting good deeds, helping one of the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about that, man. Think about how blessed we are on social media to be able to log on from the comforts of our living rooms, our bedrooms, or wherever we are at this moment, and to be able to open up, your screen on your phone and be able to, donate to a masjid. I mean, just think about the convenience of that. Think about the convenience of that. Alhamdulillah, Sister Yolanda has $50. Allahu Akbar. Sister Kelly, $100. Allahu Akbar. Please keep donating. Keep donating. Don't stop until we want 30,000. We need 30,000, inshallah. Someone offered to donate $50 a month. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I see people sending $50. Allahu Akbar. Whatever you can donate. The Prophet ﷺ says, save yourself from the hellfire, even if it's with a half of a date. So obviously you can do that with a half of 100, right? $50. I mean, come on, man. We will never deny that. Abdul Shahid, somebody said they sent the email. They're waiting for the PayPal or the Zelle info. The PayPal info is Masjid Athar. I pinned it here on the thing. You can see the name of the masjid and how to spell it. Allahu Akbar. Jazakallah khair, Hassan. Jazakallah khair, Hassan. That's what big bosses do. Look at you, man. It's almost 11 o'clock at night and you sitting up donating, man. That's what big bosses do. MashaAllah. Please keep donating until we get to an amount that, inshallah, we can turn the phones off and we can go to bed. We're not going to turn the phone off. We're not going to close the computer until we get the amount that we set out to get, bi'idhnillah. I got my coffee, so I'm not going nowhere. Please keep donating, inshallah. Whatever you can find. You find $20, $25, $100. Please keep donating. Please keep donating. They said, do you have a count so far, Imam Abdul Shahid? You have a count so far for how much you've collected so far?
1 second.
Yeah, we got free coffee. If you got a kitchen, go in the kitchen and go get your coffee. You got free coffee.
You got a count? Of how much?
$100 from Kashif and Dawn. Jazakumullahu khairan. Yes, this is very beautiful. Very beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's Masjid al-Athar at gmail.com. You bought your husband the same mug? Allahu Akbar. Like minds think alike. $100 from the White family. Allahu Akbar. Sister Sophia, $100. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. In these last 10 nights of Ramadan, most people have already given up and already making preparation for the Eid, and they're pretty much done with Ramadan, and you guys are sitting here still donating, still trying to squeeze the last little bit of hasanat out of Ramadan, and that's a beautiful thing. You are here trying to squeeze the last little bit of hasanat out of Ramadan that you can.
You said an account, an amount of how much?
$50 and a half a date from John family. Alhamdulillah. Absolutely. Beautiful. Please keep donating. Keep it coming, inshallah. If you know somebody that's home, that's been looking, been looking for ways to do some good, now is an opportunity. You got $50, send it to me, Cash App. I'll send it to, I'm just saying, like, this is the way that you can communicate with others. Other people that you know that are sitting home that's not doing nothing, text them. Hey, you got $100, you want to do some good? Here, this is some place that you can donate to. Alhamdulillah, hurry up and get your hasanat. Hurry up and get your hasanat before Ramadan is over. Mujahid, mashallah, from Scotland. $100 donated. All right, where my heavy hitters at, man? My $1,000. My $1,000 heavy hitters. Anybody in here, heavy hitters, $500, $1,000. The Zelle is saying that it belongs to Stanley. Is that right? Is that right, Abdul Shahid?
Say that again.
They saying the Zelle belongs to Stanley. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's it. That's it. No, I'm not sending no Cash App. I'm not involved in this. This is completely for the Imam. I'm not involved in this in any way. I'm helping the Masjid raise money. This is not, don't send me anything in my Cash App. Alhamdulillah. Hayakallah Abdul Shakur. Barakallahu feek. Alhamdulillah. That's what people of influence are supposed to do. Use their influence to assist others. Absolutely. That's what people of influence are supposed to use their platforms for. Not to promote themselves, but to help others. What else is the platform for except to give voice to those who don't have a platform? That's what it's for. I need my heavy hitters, my $500, $1,000. Come on, I know they out there. I know they're out there. When we raised the money for the Masjid earlier this month, we had like 6 people who donated $1,000. I know they out there. Is someone there to answer the emails? Abdul Shahid?
Yeah, somebody's on there now.
Yeah, somebody's answering the emails now, Sister Stephanie. They'll respond, inshallah. We need 500. Anybody got 500 that they can donate? 500 sitting in an account that you ain't doing nothing with, that you can just donate to the masjid. And then think about,
Someone just donated 500.
Allahu Akbar. Somebody just donated 500. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Somebody just donated another 500. Allahu Akbar. 500, mashallah. Another 500 from a sister. Come on, brothers. Come on, brothers. We need brothers to donate 500. Step up to the plate. We have sisters donating 500 like it's nothing. Putting us to shame. Okay, so some people said that they sent emails. They're waiting for responses.
Okay, yeah, she's putting them in now.
Okay. You can donate by going to PayPal or using the link that I shared, that I pinned here. And that's one thing. I mean, I have never been to a fundraiser except that I see that sisters are always very quick to donate. Sisters are always very quick to, to get in on getting the hasanat, man. And that's such a blessing. While I have you guys here, while we're still donating, I also wanted to make something very clear. And that is that on the day of the Eid, if your local masjid is not performing the Eid prayer, then we're probably going to have to pray at home. You'll probably pray the Eid Salah at home. Okay, so if you're praying the Eid Salah at home, there is no khutbah, all right, because the khutbah is to be given by the imam for the general community. All right, so there is no khutbah. There is just the Eid Salat at home. And the Eid Salat, I know many people have not prayed the Eid Salat because you've always gone to the masjid and you've always prayed the Eid Salat behind the imam. So now at this point, since things are a lot different, we have to pray the Eid Salat at home. So a lot of people are not aware of how to pray the Eid Salat. So let me just kind of demonstrate and walk you through that for those of us that are going to be praying at home for the Eid Salat, inshallah. All right, number one, the Eid Salat, much like the Jumu'ah prayer, is that we make a ghusl, we put on our best clothing, all right? Unlike the Jumu'ah, the Eid Salat starts with the Salat and it ends with the khutbah. Unlike Jumu'ah, where you listen to the khutbah first and then you pray the Salat. So the Eid Salat and Jumu'ah Salat are different in that regard. In that on Jumu'ah, you listen to the khutbah first and then you pray the Salat. For the Eid, you get to the musalla, you pray the salat, and then the imam gives the khutbah afterwards. All right, there's no adhan, there's no iqama, none of that. So if you're going to pray the Eid Salat at home, there's no need for an adhan, no need for an iqama, no need for 2 rak'ah sunnah. You start the Eid Salat. The person that is leading the Eid Salat for the family, obviously the husband or the son is leading the Eid Salat. You start at the beginning with the first takbirat. The first takbir, Allahu Akbar. And then you begin with 6 other takbirs after the first one. So there's a total of 7 takbirs. And that is including takbiratul ihram, the first takbir that you use to start the salah. So it's Allahu Akbar. And then you can either raise your hand for each takbir afterwards, or you can keep your hands on your chest according to whatever madhab that you follow. All right. Some madhabs, like the Maliki madhab, are of the opinion that you keep your hands on your chest after you say the first takbir. So it's Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And then according to some other madhabs, you can raise your hand for each takbir. And it doesn't really matter whether you do it this way or that way. All is supported with evidence and proof. Okay? So the first rak'ah, you're going to make the first 7 takbirat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And then you are going to A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and you are going to begin reciting Al-Fatiha like you would do for your normal salah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, to the end of Al-Fatiha. After Al-Fatiha, you're going to recite a short surah. It was from the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ to recite in the Eid Salat, just as with Jumu'ah, to recite Surah Al-A'la. Sabbih isma rabbika al-a'lam, alladhi khalaqa fasawwa, walladhi qaddara fahada, to the end of that surah. Then you go into ruku', sujood, as you would normally. Then when you come up, Allahu Akbar, you're going to do 5 takbirats. 5. So the first rak'ah is 7, second rak'ah 5. Okay? First rak'ah 7, second rak'ah 5. You come up from sujood, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And then you are going to recite Al-Fatiha again. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, to the end of the surah. And then you are going to recite after Al-Fatiha another surah. It was from the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ, just like it is with Jumu'ah. In the first rak'ah, Surah Al-A'la, and in the second rak'ah, what's the name of the surah? I'm forgetting.
Ghashiyah.
Surah Al-Ghashiyah, right. Hal ataka hadithul ghashiyah, to the end of the surah. And then you finish you finish the prayer just like you would normally finish the prayer. And that concludes the Eid Salat. That concludes the Eid Salat. All right? So that would conclude the Eid Salat. And then there's no khutbah. There's no khutbah because the khutbah is for the imam of the community to give a general advice, to the general community. And there's no need to do a khutbah at home. All right? No need to do that. Just establish the Eid Salat. And then, of course, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day, whether you're going to cook out, whether you're going to go visit family, whether you're going to, do a drive-by, not a drive-by shooting, but a drive-by Eid, right? Is it permissible to pray the Eid Salat alone? Yes. By yourself, yes. Pray it. A woman to lead herself in Salat if she is alone for the Eid prayer? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Pray by yourself. If you know that there's somebody else out there that lives close to you or whatever the case may be, go pray with somebody else. Don't pray by yourself. The day of the Eid is not a time for people to be by themselves. If there's someone who lives in your locality, Muslims that live in your locality, please try to find somebody in your locality. The Eid Salat should be prayed around the time of Salatul Duha. It can be prayed anytime after Salatul Fajr, before Salatul Dhuhr. All right? Instagram, you guys are going to cut off. I'm going to cut you back on. The Eid Salat should be prayed around the time of Duha. All right? Which is anytime after the sun rises, before Salatul Dhuhr. All right? Before Salatul Dhuhr. Okay. Where we at, Imam?
So far. You want a total?
Yeah. Let them know.
Okay. Let me get it for you. We got the Cash App up too now.
Okay, they have Cash App now. Alhamdulillah. They have Cash App for those of you who want Cash App. Alhamdulillah. For those of you who want to use the Cash App, you can use the Cash App now. What's the Cash App, Imam? So after Salatul Fajr, yeah, most of the time when we pray Salatul Eid is usually around 9 o'clock, 9:30. 9 o'clock, 9:30. That's usually around the time. All right? Anytime after Salatul Duha. Nobody should be alone for Eid. Find someone that lives in your locality. Tell the people where you're from, you know what I mean, to see if any sisters is in your area. Nobody should pray the Eid Salat by themselves, man. If there's somebody that lives close by or whatever the case may be, link up with people and establish the Salat, man. Take your precautions. You want to wear your mask, you can wear your mask. You want to wear gloves, wear your gloves. Take your precautions, but ultimately understand that what is for you is never going to miss you, and what was never going to hit you, what's not for you is never going to hit you. Reach out to sisters in your area. See if anybody is in your area so you can at least pray the Salat. What'd you say, Imam?
She's getting the count for you now.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, please keep donating. Please keep donating, inshallah. What's the Cash App, Imam?
Masjid Athar.
So the Cash App is the Cash App sign, the cash sign, Masjid Athar. Masjid Athar. That is the Cash App. So let me type that in. Alhamdulillah, Sister Ebony said her and her husband donated 200. Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from you. Masjid Athar. That's the Cash App. So if those of you who want to donate Cash App, you can go to the cash sign, Masjid Athar, and that's the Cash App, inshallah.
Imam, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I just want to, while since you were also talking about the Eid not to be celebrated, I just want to make one little announcement while people are trying to make some more donations. Inshallah, on the Eid day, we will also have a Eid Day family parade at Masjid Athar. It's going to be like drive-through where you can pick up some sweets and treats for you and your family. Inshallah, right after the Eid time between 10 and 12 o'clock, everybody is inshallah welcome for this family parade right after the Eid Salah.
Okay, so that's at Masjid Athar.
Inshallah, yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who are in the Marietta, Georgia area, you're in the Marietta, Georgia area, Masjid Athar on the day of the Eid will be giving out food. You can drive up and grab your food and kind of keep it going. And that is between what time?
10 and 12, inshallah.
Between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. inshallah. So if you are in the Marietta, Georgia area, you can stop by Masjid Athar on the day of the Eid and you can pick up some food inshallah for you and your family.
Okay.
Double check that Masjid Athar, Imam, because they're saying that it's not coming up.
It's not coming up. Masjid at, wait a minute.
Let me make
Masjid Athar at gmail.com?
No, the Cash App. The Cash App.
The Cash App. Oh, with the gmail.com.
That's PayPal. Cash App doesn't have like a .com connected to it.
Doesn't have no .com. So it should say Masjid Athar, right? That's it?
Well, you gotta set the account up. She has to set the account up
You
first.
got the count?
All right, just give them a second for the Cash App.
Okay.
They still working out the details. You gotta give us give us some time. Older folks, man, we still trying to figure out the social media, man. Give it a moment for the Cash App, inshallah.
Yeah,
They're still working on it.
Up, though. What'd you say, Butch?
Yeah, let's do it correctly. I just want to make sure that people do not make mistakes when you give us some wrong information. Let's make sure that the information is correct and accurate.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Right now we have five.
The other way is through PayPal. The PayPal is Masjid Athar at Gmail. I'll pin it again.
What is it? So far it's 46.
4,600. That's not enough, man. We got to keep going. 4,600, man. I think we can do a little bit better than that, inshallah. Let's push for at least 10,000. Push at least 10,000 before we go to bed tonight. Let's try to make sure that Masjid Athar has at least 10,000 before we go to bed. All right, so the PayPal is there, Masjid Athar at gmail.com. That is for those of you who want to use PayPal. If you want the Zelle information, you can send an email there and they will direct you, inshallah. So this is the PayPal info. Okay, alhamdulillah. All right, please, let's keep going. We're at 4,600 right now, almost at 5,000. I'm sure that within the next maybe 10, 15 minutes, inshallah, we can donate at least another 5,000, at least another $5,000 bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Please, brothers and sisters, donate, help the masjid, help the masajid offset their costs. For those of you who would like to give your zakat al-fitr, also you can donate your zakat al-fitr, $10 per family member. $10 per family member. The Prophet ﷺ instructed us to give zakat al-fitr before the end of Ramadan to make up for any mistakes that we've made during our fasting in the month of Ramadan. The Cash App is not up yet. Just give them a second for the Cash App. The only thing that they have now is Zelle or PayPal. Zelle or PayPal. Imam, you have to download the app onto your phone and then set up an account.
Okay.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Sister Tamika. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Thank you for your donation.
Okay, so the Cash App is the dollar sign,
Uh-huh.
and then right after that is Masjid Athar.
Okay. You sure?
My eyes get, like you said, you get old, you forget, huh?
So the Cash App is the Cash App sign, Masjid Athar.
Right,
Masjid Al-Athar.
right.
And let me go ahead and pin that. All right, so for those of you who have Cash App and would like to use the Cash App, they finally have the Cash App set up, and you can use Cash App, inshallah. Okay. Yes, if you want to send your Zakat al-Fitr, you can send your Zakat al-Fitr as well. Zakat al-Fitr is $10 per family member. So if there's 5 members to your family, then that will be $50 for your entire family for the Zakat al-Fitr. All right. Jazakallah khair, Sister Zakiya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. The Cash App is working now. Allahu Akbar. They figured it out. They cracked the code. So you can use Cash App now, or you can use Gmail or Zelle. Those are the 3 ways that you can donate. They don't have anything set up where you can use a credit card unless you're going to use Zelle. If you're going to use Zelle, then you can email them directly and they'll direct you, inshallah. I mean, if you find somebody that will accept your grains from you, I have $1,100 personal PayPal pool from my contacts, alhamdulillah. So somebody was able to collect at least $1,100 on a personal account, Allahu Akbar, that he's going to donate to the masjid. If you can find somebody that's going to take grains from you, then by all means, pay in grains. You know, I'm not coming in between that. I'm just saying to make it easier for yourself, because to find somebody who's going to take grains, who's going to take barley and wheat and all that other stuff, find somebody that's going to take that from you. I mean, you know, let me know how that worked out for you.
Yeah.
As I said before, people in our environment, in our society, people are not in need of food. We throw food away. That's how much we operate in excess in our society. We throw food away. We have restaurants that throw tons and tons of food away on a daily basis. When people are homeless and they're outside begging for money, they're not begging for money for food. They need money for other things.
Right.
And in this day and time, right, nobody's taking food from you. I mean, with coronavirus going around, like, I personally wouldn't be taking food from nobody. I don't care if it's packaged up or anything. I don't know you like that. Taking food from somebody there's a level of trust that is there when somebody gives you some food that you're going to put into your body, that you're going to feed to your children. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. This is a different day, different time, man. We live in a time where we live in a society that wastes food. People are not in need of food. People are in need of money. Think about somebody who you're going to go give some dates and wheat and barley to under the guise of following the sunnah. Meanwhile, this person's electricity is about to get cut off. I mean, just think about the logic that's in that. Think about the logic in that. So, it's really important that, we use a bit of aql, we use a bit of intellect as we're practicing Islam in this day and time. During the time of the Prophet ﷺ, they lived in an environment where some of the Sahaba only had a waist sheet. They only had an izar. They didn't even have a shirt. That's the type of environment that they lived in. The hadith of the young boy who used to lead the salat and, his izar would fall down, and so much so that, his buttocks would show and be exposed. So the Prophet commanded the women to remain in sujood for a little while longer until the person stood up erect so that, they weren't exposed to something, because he didn't have enough cloth. He didn't have enough weight to hold the cloth. He didn't have enough material. I mean, this is the type of environment they lived in. We don't live in that type of environment. You know what I mean? So you think about you rushing to practice the sunnah to give somebody food or to give somebody, dates and barley or wheat and, dry foods, and their electricity is about to get cut off. It's very important for us to, to be mindful of the environment that we are practicing Islam in. Islam is, going to look different in every environment. Every environment, the practice of it is going to look different. Even though it's within the confines of the Quran and the Sunnah, it's still going to look different. This is why the Prophet ﷺ did things different ways for different reasons, to accommodate everything and accommodate every situation. The Prophet ﷺ, when he was performing Hajj, right? Think about it. When he was performing Hajj, there's a certain way that Hajj should be formed, a certain structure. After the Zawal, you go, you stone the Jamarat, and this is especially on the day of the Eid, on the Yom al-Nahar, the day of slaughtering for the pilgrims. You wait until, right before, after Salatul Dhuhr, you go, you stone the Jamarat, you go and you slaughter your animal, you shave your head, you make the Tawaf al-Ifada, you make the Sa'i, and then you're kind of finished with Ihram for that particular day. The Sahaba, some of them didn't follow the structure. Some of them cut their head before they stoned the Jamarat. Some of them stoned the Jamarat before they made Tawaf al-Ifada. Some of them made Tawaf al-Ifada before they made Sa'i. And each and every time they would come back to the Prophet ﷺ and say, "O Messenger of Allah, I did this before that, or I did this before that," the Prophet ﷺ would say, "If'alu wala haraj." Do as you please, there's no sin on you. Although there is a structure to Hajj, there is a particular way to perform the rituals of Hajj. However, Islam is not that rigid, not that black and white, that it can't accommodate different circumstances and situations. For the life of me, I can't understand why we don't get that. Here we are, 2020, and you still trying to pay zakat al-fitr in the form of grains and, and barley and wheat. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Alhamdulillah. Tissa, my 9 children just collected $100 between them. Allahu Akbar. This is a good idea to allow the children to give sadaqah. That's excellent. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your children. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them from amongst the salihin, from the shakireen, from those who are grateful, from those who are righteous. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you to continue raising them upon the adab of Islam. Seems like you're doing a great job with them, mashallah. May Allah increase you. Sister just had her children go collect some money, and they collected $100 to donate. Allahu Akbar, man.
Allah.
The Eid is going to be either Saturday or Sunday. It depends on when the moon is sighted. It's never written in stone. It's not written in stone. Friday night they will decide. They will go out and try to sight the moon. And if the moon is sighted on Friday night, then the Eid will be Saturday. If the moon is not sighted, then we'll complete the month of Ramadan for 30 days. And the Eid will be on Sunday.
we have we're going to have to be born out of our race. I wasn't saying you are.
A sister, brothers, I want you to listen to this. A sister said, if there is a cool on the eye brother striving to please Allah with the means to donate as a heavy hitter, I'll give him my Wali's number and match his donation. Allahu Akbar. Oh, man. Subhanallah, man. Oh, man. Subhanallah. Brothers, did you hear that? I hope you guys are listening. The sister said if there's a brother that, number one, the prerequisite is that he got to be pleasing to the eye. He got to be the coolness of the eye, right? Can't be heavy on the eyes. If there's a brother out there that's cool on the eyes and he's a heavy hitter, you know, he's in the four digits, the thousands, he's donating heavy hitter numbers. And he's willing to donate. She says she'll be willing to match his donation and she'll give him the Wali's number. Wa alaikum salam. Hanif. Hayakallah. Hanif. I hope you brothers are listening, man. The sister said that she's offering her Wali's number and she'll match your heavy hitter number. You can't beat that, man. That's a Khadija for you right there.
Yeah.
Your name should be Khadija. Make dua for the single men and women. Nah, the single men and women gotta make dua for themselves, man. I'm sorry. We enjoying life over here on the married side. I'm sorry. We enjoy life. We living our best life over here on the married side, man. The single brothers and sisters gotta make dua for themselves, man. All right, so where we at? Where we at, Abdul Shahid? My eyes is getting heavy, man.
We can wrap it up. At 6,600.
Okay, 6,600. I'm ready to go to bed because I want to wake up and do what I need to do for me. So this is what I'm proposing: 6,000.
7,250.
Okay, 7,250. That means that we are 2,850 short. 2,850 short. We need $2,850. We short. So, can we at least get to 8,000 so I can go to bed? Can we get to 8,000? Can we get to 8,000 so I can go to bed? So we need $850. Can I have 8 people to donate $100? Okay, alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Sister says she's donating $250. Another person just said $100. Allahu Akbar. Come on, man. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired.
We got it.
I'm exhausted. Come on. We need another 500 to cap it off at $8,000. Alhamdulillah, Sister Aisha says she's going to send 100. That's another 100. 250, 350, 450. We need $400 more to get us to 8,000. The PayPal is pinned right here. Masjid al-Athar at Gmail. Masjid al-Athar at Gmail. Right. Mission donate so Imam can go to bed. Yes, I'm exhausted, man. So, Masjid al-Athar at gmail.com. And that is the PayPal info. Alhamdulillah. Let me just say, man, for all of you brothers and sisters that donated, even those of you who didn't have it to donate, who wanted to donate, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. This is such a blessing, man. During this month of Ramadan, I have seen so much good from our communities. I've seen so much khair come out of our communities, man, in more than I have seen in a long time, man. And I mean, I just really think that this whole quarantine and everything, I think that it was such a blessing for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bless you and your husband, sister. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy on you and your family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you guys with Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la, the highest place in Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you and your spouse, to navigate your way through any of the trials and challenges that this life has to offer together. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of you. The Cash App is the Cash App sign, Masjid al-Athar. The Cash App sign, Masjid al-Athar.
We at 8 already.
They at 8,000. I can go to bed now. He's at 8,000. Look at you guys, man, taking advantage of these last nights of Ramadan, man. Taking advantage of the opportunity, getting these hasanat, getting these last little bit of good deeds, squeezing it out. As the Prophet ﷺ said, وَالْحَسَنَةُ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا إِلَى سَبْعَةِ مِئَةٍ ضِعْفٍ, that every hasana, every good deed that you do is multiplied 10 times to 700 times. 10 to 700 times. And what determines, where it stops? It's all dependent upon your niyyah, upon your intention. Yes, alhamdulillah, we've surpassed 8,000 bi-idhnillah. And I think that you guys can keep going without me. I'm just the hype man. I'm just here to encourage you. You guys already have the faith. You guys already know the dalil. You already know the evidence. You already know it. It's just a matter of you picking up your phone and donating. Alhamdulillah, whatever you can send, man, that's saving your own soul. Saving your soul. Alhamdulillah, save your soul, man. You got $10, send it. You got $20, send it. It doesn't matter the amount. All what matters is what the niyyah, what the intention is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهَ لُحُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. That when you slaughter, Allah is talking about the ayat of slaughtering, right? When you slaughter your animal. Allah says, لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهَ لُحُومُهَا, that the meat from the slaughtered animal will not reach Allah. وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا, nor the blood from the animal that you slaughter. So when you slaughter the animal, what reaches Allah? The animal doesn't go to Allah. The meat doesn't go to Allah. The blood doesn't go to Allah. What goes to Allah when you slaughter? وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. Taqwa, your intention, what's in your heart, that is what reaches Allah. It doesn't matter how much you give. It's what's here that reaches Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says when you slaughter the animal, you say, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, you slaughter your animal. The blood or the meat of the animal doesn't go to Allah. So why are we slaughtering? What purpose are we slaughtering for? What reaches Allah in the process of slaughtering? Your intention. What was in your heart? So you could give $5, but you know deep down in your heart, if I had more, I would give more, but this is all I have. And that $5 with that intention could surpass somebody who gave $1,000, but their heart wasn't really in it. They're doing it to show off. They're doing it to let everybody know they're a heavy hitter. They're doing it to let everybody know, they got it like that. Your $5 with good intention can take you a long way, man. So it doesn't matter how much you give. What matters is what's here. What is here? That is what matters. Absolutely. We all want that, man. We all want that. All right, Imam, I'm going to call it a night, man. You guys, please continue donating. Please continue donating, inshallah ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it all from you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take what you have given and multiply it many times over. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it in your scales of good on a day when you are going to need it the most. Use what you gave. Here's a tip before I go. Anything that you've given, anything that you've donated, right? Even if it was your intention, right? Yes, it will. You're absolutely right, Zing. This might be the good deed that gets you over the hump, that gets you into paradise. the money that you donated, I want you to use that to your advantage. There's something called tawassul, where you use your good deed to ask Allah for something. So if you donated something, the next time you go down into sujood, I want you to ask Allah. The next time you raise your hand to make dua, I want you to say, oh Allah, if I donated to that masjid, if I donated, this, or I donated that to the masjid seeking your pleasure, then do this for me. Open this door for me. Bless me with this. Protect my children. Give me an increase in iman. Bless me in my deen. Make me steadfast in my religion. Make my children steadfast in their religion. I want you to use your good deeds not just to get good deeds, but also to get more from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Use your good deeds to get more from God. That's called tawassul. That's part of our religion. Even if somebody get over on you, somebody beat you for $10, $20, leave it. Make tawassul with it. Oh Allah, if I let that person slide for the $20 they got me for, oh Allah, open this door for me. Oh Allah, guide one of my non-Muslim family members to Islam. Oh Allah, protect me from, this, or oh Allah, guide me in this area. Oh Allah, bless me with this. Use that to your advantage. Use your hasanat to your advantage. It's called tawassul. This is a means, a way to approach Allah to get from him what you want. Ask Allah, oh Allah, if I donated that $100 to that masjid for your pleasure, seeking your pleasure, then oh Allah, bless me with this. Oh Allah, open this door for me. Oh Allah, provide this opportunity for me. Oh Allah, bless me with a righteous spouse. Oh Allah, bless me with a spouse that will be qurrata aini, that will be the pleasure of my eye. Use it to make tawassul. Sometimes we leave a lot of crumbs on the table because of our ignorance. We leave a lot of crumbs on the table because of our ignorance. Some of us have been donating to masjids and giving money. And while that's great, you get hasanat, that's great. But there's more that you could be doing with the hasanat that you are earning. There's more that you could be doing with the hasanat that you are earning. You're leaving crumbs on the table because of our ignorance. Learn your deen, brothers and sisters. Learn your religion. Learn your religion. Ta'allamu wa tuflihu. Seek knowledge and become successful. Seek knowledge and become successful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. Jazakumullahu khairan for your time and your energy. Imam, I pray that inshallah ta'ala it just kind of keeps rolling in for you. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you to meet your goal bi-idhnillahi ta'ala.
Inshallah. Inshallah ta'ala, I'll call you tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama tasliman kathira. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, guys. Assalamu alaikum.